Hey everyone, melee vs melee matchups are always extremely volatile because you have to walk up close to get last hits. So if you fall behind, the enemy laner can punish you easily unless you CS well or outplay the trades, which is really hard. So learning how to get ahead in these matchups is the key. In today's video, I'm going to break down one of my own gameplays in gold where I'm playing Camille vs Sylas. You're going to learn what I do to get the snowball rolling early and the mistakes Sylas makes so you don't make them yourself. Also, the concepts taught will apply to any melee vs melee matchup, not just Camille and Sylas. Before getting into the gameplay, let's break down the matchup. Camille is an AD bruiser vs Sylas an AP bruiser. Because Camille is AD, she wins extended trades and Sylas wins burst trades. Sylas has a small wave clear advantage that he can't really use because of Camille's stronger trading. This is why the matchup is Camille favored. Learning how to play these unfavorable matchups is important though, and we're going to go over that in the video as well. Anyways, my game plan for this will be Mission 1, push the wave. With Camille's stronger level 1, I want to push Sylas off the wave if he tries to walk up and take the push lead from myself. Then Mission 2, get a health advantage. With my level advantage from Mission 1, I want to look for a trade to get a health lead. And then Mission 3, all in. Since I went all in, I want to look for a kill after chunking the Sylas. As for Sylas' game plan, we'll go over that later in the video. For now, let's get started. At the start of the lane, I'm going to walk up to the melee minions and completely focus on hitting them. I went level 1 very hard with Sylas simply because I'm an AD champion and he's AP. This would be true in almost any AP vs AD matchup. Zed vs Ekko, Pantheon vs Diana, Talon vs Fizz. The only exception to this rule is Akali because that champion is disgusting and defies the laws of League. But AD champions are much stronger because their autos do more damage, so if you trade abilities with each other it will be even. But add autos into that and then the AD champion starts to take over. But just because I win level 1 doesn't mean I can just go in. If I go in here, I take 6 minions worth of aggro. That's why the first important step is to kill these first 3 melees. As soon as I do that, now is when I need to punish Sylas if he's too far up. If we pause here, he's way overextended. He should be way further back and use his Q to grab the first 3 CS. You have to respect these level 1 differences because if you don't, you can lose the lane from it. Since Sylas is way too far up, I go in using my Q, but notice the angle I'm going in at. I run past him a little bit, then use Q and keep running ahead. This is because I already know the outcome of this trade before we do it. This is important for you guys to understand because in lower elos, you might go for a level 1 trade like this, but you're not sure how hard you win it, so you just get a little chunk and back off. But as we can see, I get a huge chunk of his health. Now that I have this huge health advantage for Mission 2, I want to slowly push this wave. I don't want to clear it too fast because the wave will then be right in front of his tower or I can't really trade. But by slow pushing, the next waves will meet here where the minions already are. But as I'm doing that, Sylas thinks he can walk up and grab a minion with no health like this. Obviously, this should not be able to happen and needs to be punished. So I use Q on him again, bringing him extra low. I could use my flash and ignite to kill him here, but this lane is already over and I can kill him without using flash very soon. Anyways, the next waves meet now exactly where we want them to be, and I want to hit level 2 and look for an all-in for Mission 3. He's very low health, so if I get on him, he's easily dead. Remember, 7 minions get you level 2, so watch how I go about this next play. I'm 1 minion from level 2, so I go to kill this minion that is close to the wall. This is Camille specific, but the closer you are to the wall, the harder it is for your opponent to react to it since you don't have the travel time to the wall. So I use the first part of my Q on the minion to hit level 2, then as soon as the true damage part of it is ready, I use E to jump off the wall and kill the Sylas for first blood. His specific mistake for this was he wasn't preparing for my level 2. But this was a combination of the first 2 mistakes he made at level 1, and that's why level 1 is so important. When the wave is pushing to him, and he takes that bad chunk, he just needs to stand way back, making sure to get experience while his potions heal him up, and don't go for CS. The wave will crash, then he can grab some CS safely. After crashing the wave and recalling to spend my gold, I come back to lane and it looks like this. The next minute or 2 is very important because it's how you set up yourself to snowball and not throw. So first off, I'm ahead of him and obviously went all in. But even with this lead, I can't just all in when he has this huge minion wave. So my goal here is to thin this wave out enough to go in, but I have very little wave clear to do it. So let's watch what happens. I'm going to completely focus on minions here, but notice how I'm not just standing in the wave auto attacking. I'm playing pretty far back near my wave. The reason for this is when Sylas can actually play pretty aggressive on me if I walk up. That's his next mistake. His goal right now should be to crash this wave on the tower, and maybe even get a health advantage if I walk up too far and trade with him in his wave. But he doesn't look to trade at all because he doesn't have the game knowledge for the situation and thinks he might just die. Alright, right here's the trick you need to snowball your games. I thinned the wave as much as I could, but now my wave is dead. If I let this wave crash, Sylas gets a few good things out of it. He can reset, he can roam, he can get vision, all without losing CS because the wave crashed and was slow pushed back to him. I don't want to give him that since I'm ahead, so I'm going to get aggro of the wave, then run into top brush. This makes it so the wave doesn't crash and instead freezes in front of my tower. Now, Sylas has to make a choice. Leave the lane and lose a ton of CS, or come back and try to get this wave crashed without dying. He's not here now, so I want to go back to thinning it as much as I can to prepare for an all-in when he gets here. This kind of trick works on any matchup where you win extended trades because it brings them as far away from their tower as possible so you can run them down. So think champions like Yasuo, Diana, Irelia. All of them do very well in these extended trades. The wave is trimmed down nicely now, and he's standing far away from his wave anyways. So I go in with E, but miss like a scrub, then all in for mission 2, getting a nice chunk of his health. If I landed my E, I would have killed him. Either way, you can see how pulling the wave and freezing it made him have to walk up and set me up for an all-in with my lead and extended trade advantage. But after that chunk, I want to push. If he's going to recall here, I want to deny him CS. If he doesn't recall, I could probably just dive him with how low he is. While I'm pushing, the enemy jungler Nocturne walks straight through mid, and since me and Vi are full health, we should definitely fight them. I ping Nocturne since he's the bigger threat here, but my Vi goes in on the sylas instead, completely trolling. We end up getting both kills, but it should have been 2 for 0 anyways. Something important to note here, if you're the sylas and you're really low, ping your jungler away and do not fight this. Don't let your jungler bait you into dying when your lane is already going poorly. Before we recap, I'm sure you're wondering, what was Sylas' game plan supposed to be? Since he can't win levels 1 and 2 without the minion wave, his game plan should have been Mission 1, let the wave push, Mission 2, bounce the wave off of his own tower. After the wave crashes on the tower, it will slow push the other way, giving him a minion advantage. And then Mission 3, use that minion advantage to trade. With that big minion advantage, he'll hit level 3 first, and can use that to win trades. Before we recap, you should know, if you're not signed up to Skill Cap, then you're missing out. We have exclusive content such as Challenger Challenges where we show how to climb out of every elo in the worst case scenario games, which we don't release to YouTube. Alongside over 700 additional guides covering just about everything you need. Oh, and if you don't significantly improve while using our service, you get a full refund, so there's literally no risk. It only makes sense to sign up if you want to escape elo hell. Check us out at skillcap.com. Alright, we covered a lot here, so let's recap. At the start of the lane, I killed the melee minions first, then went in for a very good level 1 trade using my level 1 advantage. Then I pushed slowly to set up the wave to be in a good spot to all in at level 2. Once I hit level 2, I stood close to the wall so he couldn't react to my E, and killed him for first blood. When I got back to lane, the wave was too big to just all in again, so I thinned it, then made sure the wave didn't crash. Sylas was forced to come back to lane, and after trimming the wave a little more, I went in and chunked him hard. Nocturne ran through mid after this, and my jungler trolled me, but we killed both anyways. But that's going to bring us to the end of this one. We hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.